Being a Brit, born and raised, it was only a matter of time before I attempted one of our nation's most iconic dishes, the fish and chips. Attempting a beer batter for the first time, I'll be using my choice of Heineken, although from what I've read, sparkling water works just as well if you'd prefer an alcohol-free version. We'll also be making a creamy, tangy, homemade tartar sauce to go alongside it. Let's get into it. I'm starting with the tartar sauce because it gives the flavours a little more time to come together whilst we prepare everything else. Firstly, I finely diced a shallot. I'm using just under half because I don't want that onion flavour to be overbearing. Next, a teaspoon of capers, which I've crushed slightly off camera just to help release some of that salty, briny flavour. Then come the cornichons, which are essentially small pickled gherkins. I dice these finely, but still leave enough texture to give the sauce some bite. We also need some fresh parsley using just the leaves. Once that's combined, I add the mayonnaise until I reach a consistency that I like. I tend to prefer a chunkier tartar sauce, so I don't go overboard here. And there we go, already looking pretty good. I'll pop that into the fridge while we move on to the chips. For the chips, I'm using Maris Piper potatoes. Once cut into chunky chip shop chips, I soak them in ice water for about 5 minutes. Apparently this helps remove excess starch and should improve the final texture. After that, they go into the boiling water for around 10 minutes until softened but still holding their shape. This next part isn't in the recipe, but I let them dry out a little before coating them lightly in corn flour. My thinking was that less moisture might mean a crispier finish. Whether that actually works, we'll find out soon enough. Moving on to the frying, I'm heating the oil to around 180 degrees Celsius and keeping an eye on this with the thermometer. And apparently I still haven't learned my lesson when it comes to hot oil. The moment the chips went in, things got a little more dramatic than planned, so definitely be careful here. I'll save the results until the end, though we've still got the fish to tackle. For the fish, I'm using 2 chunky cod fillets. They're a good size for my cooking pot and should hold up nicely in the batter. The batter itself was surprisingly simple. Into a bowl goes flour, corn flour, turmeric and the Heineken. I whisk everything together, adjusting as needed until it reaches roughly the consistency of double cream. Unfortunately, I managed to lose the footage of actually coating the fish in the wet batter. So we're jumping straight from the dry coating over to the fryer. Not ideal, but that's life sometimes. The oil is sitting at about 185 degrees at this point, and in goes the fish. This only needs about 5 minutes or so, and honestly I was so impressed with how quickly it started to look the part. Golden, crispy, and exactly what I was hoping for. Now we can move on to plating up. For the presentation, I found some serving newspaper online and even managed to get hold of a fish and chip box from my local chippy. completely unnecessary, but I thought it was a nice touch. And here it is, my homemade fish and chips. And honestly, I couldn't have been much happier with how this turned out. The fish was so crispy on the outside, flaky on the middle, and paired perfectly with the tartare sauce. The chips came out far better than I expected too. I'd love to try this again in the future with different fish and beer combinations to see how much the flavour changes. But for a first attempt, I'm calling this a huge success. As always, I had a blast making this recipe, and thank you so much for watching.